Welcome back, you 150,000 smart primates. My name's Dylan. Just put a PhD in physics on hold to create some fun things, and my AI project is now out. You can use it for free, don't need a credit card. It's called AIMyInterior.com. You take a picture of your room, you chuck it in my site, turn it into any interior design style you want in literally 30 seconds. Completely renovate it. Come check it out. And AI my cars, turn your car into a muscle car, hypercar. Hopefully I can complete that by this weekend. Your boy's doing a lot of work. And Cal also created the world's first consumer post-quantum VPN, and normal VPNs don't have the necessary encryption standards anymore. So if you want to be protected, come check out Cal. Nuke Week starts tomorrow. I just invented it. We're doing a week of nuke videos to try and promote and celebrate the release of Oppenheimer. So make sure you come back tomorrow, because I know how nukes work and I know where you live. Don't tell the FBI, but I'm going to tell you all the secrets. Anyway, let's get into this video. The Planck length. All right, so we're starting from small going to big, are we? This is theoretically the smallest thing we can think about in principle, and I'll tell you why later, all right? We just started, so before I just yap on, let's do some watching. 10 to the negative 35 meters. Yep, they got that one right. As they do everything, usually. Strings. Quantum foam. Wow. All right. So the problem with this video is we're starting at the most complex stuff there is, and I don't want to just talk for ages. So I guess let's come back to this. All right. We'll talk about this stuff at the end, because this stuff is the most mind-blowing stuff, in my opinion, and we'll talk about it. But let's do some watching first. This has got like, this soundtrack is like 28 Days Later vibes, no? Great movie. I love a zombie movie. All right, I think what they're doing here is they're showing a long pause because it's not, the scale. They're trying to represent the true scale between, the Planck length and then quarks, I guess, which is enormous. It's unimaginably vast, the difference in scale. Look, we're still going. I think the fact that it's blue is going to give the wrong impression, though. The OMG particle. The OMG particle. So this was a cosmic ray from space, right? And it had in the order of in the exa electron volts of energy. That's millions of times more than the particles attain at the Large Hadron Collider. The largest, most powerful accelerator ever built by humans. The damn particle was going so fast that in a year-long race with light, it would have lost by a mere thousandth of a hair. Energy was equal to that of a bowling ball dropped on a toe. But, bowling balls contain as many atoms as there are stars. Nobody ever thought you could concentrate so much energy into a single particle before. Right now, as you watch this very video, your DNA is getting sliced up by these tiny invisible bullets. These damage dealers are known as cosmic rays, even though they're absolutely not rays. The name stuck for bloody historical reasons. They're actually particles and, electrons and protons, right? Mostly, but occasionally heavier things like helium or even iron nuclei. These cosmic particles are trouble because A, they're fast and so have a lot of kinetic energy to toss around, and B, they're electrically charged, right? So that means they can ionize our poor little DNA nucleotides, right? Ripping them apart and occasionally leading to uncontrollable replication errors, aka cancer. And the origins of these ultra-high energy OMG particles are tough to pin down, and despite 30 years of detection history, we don't have a lot of firm answers. We only have like 100. We've seen about 100 of these things. From gamma ray bursts, maybe something more exotic like topological defects from the earliest moments after the Big Bang, or some funky interactions within dark matter. Maybe we're getting physics wrong and our distance limit calculations aren't accurate. Maybe. And also just remember, things like electrons, things like photons, they don't seem to have any size, all right? They seem to be infinitesimal to the limit of our ability to measure, right? All the fundamental particles actually seem to be mathematical points. So they probably aren't, but the lower limit is still some kind of like quantum gravity effect. And nobody knows much about that. So this might seem small to you, but we have things we think are infinitely small. So maybe we should have started there. Kurzgesagt, you should have started at the infinitesimal, the infinitely small. All right, but look, in principle, the going below the Planck scale doesn't have any relevance upon our universal world. It's impractical, and I'll tell you why it's impractical to even think about anything small in the Planck scale in principle. So I've got a thought experiment for you. So imagine you have a magnifying glass, right? And you're going to look at a little region of space and time, and you just want to see what's there. You know, basic experiment. And look at the vacuum. What's there? And so what we learned because of quantum mechanics is to probe shorter and shorter distances because of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. You need higher and higher energies, and that's why we have to build these huge, experiments, Large Hadron Collider, to probe, the smallest distances humans have ever probed. And that's kind of ironic, right? The biggest experiment in human history to probe the smallest distances. Again, that's exactly why, you need higher energies to probe smaller and shorter distances. And, without gravity, it would be no problem. So if you imagine a world with no gravity, too easy. You could probe arbitrarily small distances. You just ask the governments for more money for bigger, particle colliders, and you can probe smaller distances. But now let's put gravity into this world, and something bad's going to happen, right? At some point, you put too much energy into this small little region of space. I'm sure you guys know what's going to happen, right? What happens? Well, you collapse that region into a black hole. And, at that point, light can't escape, right? So just by trying to see what's going on in this little region actually makes a black hole. That makes it impossible to see what's going on. And this is first going to happen at about 10 to the minus 33 centimeters. Time on the order of 10 to the minus 43 seconds. And this is the Planck time. And these are absurdly small, like time. So just to give you an example, like perspective, the distances probed at the Large Hadron Collider, 1,000 times smaller than the nucleus of an atom, 10 to the minus 17 centimeters, which is 16 orders of magnitude in difference to what we're talking about. Just shows how ludicrous it is. But, this simple thought experiment really demonstrates that there's no you can't give operational meaning to these small times and distances. And every time this happens in physics, where there's like this idea that you can't even give operational meaning to, it kind of, suggests that this thing is approximate and that it's not really there, that it actually emerges from something more fundamental. And in this case, it's kind of pretty crazy because it's, the actual, idea of space-time itself that needs to emerge from something more fundamental. Highest energy neutrino, the ghost particles. They are basically me as a child and through my adolescence, just extremely shy and didn't talk to anyone. You don't even know they're around. No, I'm not going to say that. God damn. Lucky I didn't say that. Atmospheric neutrinos. Yeah, these ultra high energy neutrinos are still a kind of hopeful probe into new physics. They're very mysterious things and we still don't really understand their origins and things about them. But there's lots of cool stuff, so you should go check it out. Have a Google. They got some different flavors to them. Top quark electron. All right, so they're putting the electron at the size of the top quark. I've got no idea where they're getting this quark size value from, but it seems to be mixing particle size and range of interaction. Presumably, it is the current experimental upper limit on quark size. But that is, it has to be smaller than this, not it is this size. Where they got neutrino size is also a little baffling, but I'm guessing maybe from the ultra high energy cosmic rays that we've been kind of confused by for a long time. It's important to remember that fundamental particles have no size. That is to say that we can probe them at higher and higher energies, right? Which means smaller and smaller scales. And doing this reveals they have no substructure. So they truly behave in high energy physics experiments as like point-like. Any deviations from point-like behavior would actually be an indication that they have some kind of substructure, like an indication that the particle is not elementary after all and is made of more fundamental building blocks. That said, it is possible to define classical a classical radius for fundamental particles, right? And, this classical radius has no real or physical meaning and is actually misleading. But it is sometimes used, like, in science popularizations, especially when size comparisons are made between, elementary particles and other things. So them having no radius is actually a problem because this means they can get infinitely close to each other, which blows up Feynman diagrams that have loops in them. Getting a bit technical here, but like one way we deal with them, these infinities, is to cut the integrals at very small distances, as if particles have a radius. And some interpret this as a hint that there may be an underlying theory in which electrons, are composed of smaller particles or strings. And, in that case, the electron would actually have a radius, as do other composite particles, for instance, a proton. The charmer, the bottom, the strange, the down quark, the neutron, the proton. Yep, a lot of good. Uranium nucleus, very big. Supernova neutrinos. That's cool. Wow, I love how much stuff they're including in this. Gamma ray wavelength, solar neutrinos. Yep. The smaller the wavelength, the higher the energy, right? So that's what they're showing here. A very small wavelength, very intense amount of energy. The longer the wavelength, less energy. You can theoretically have wavelengths as long as the universe. Good luck detecting them. DNA. There's so much going on here. Holy shit. Jesus, we could just make 100 videos on this video alone. Coronavirus, there's too much going on. My brain can't handle it. Red blood cell nucleus, smallest animal. Beautiful. This is a really tremendously beautiful. Krasiveya. Cosmological neutrinos, amoeba, largest bacterium, grain of sand, microwave wavelength, smallest fish, ant. It's just like coming at me so quick that before like the thoughts explode. There's something else. There's a stick figure now. What does it say? Wait, but why stick figure? Human brain, Kurzgesagt duck, giant earthworm, largest elephant. Yeah. I love the humor in these videos. Statue of Liberty, Saturn V, West Starship, Eiffel Tower, smallest moon in the solar system. Okay, all right. Damn, all right, we're going to go all the way up. I forgot we're doing that because it's already been so awesome. I'm getting lost. Smallest black hole. Oh my god, there's so much going on. My video is starting to lag a little bit as well, so I was just trying to fix it. Asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Wait. All right. Let's actually talk about some stuff. Hey, I want to go back to this black hole. Depth of the Mariana Trench, smallest black hole. We actually did that video of Kurzgesagt where, what was it like if you dropped a bomb in the Mariana Trench? What would happen? It was one of the first Kurzgesagt videos we watched. Marathon. Smallest black hole. Okay, so let's talk about this black hole. So 19 kilometers. You might be like, wow, that's really not that big. And neutron stars as well. They're about 20 kilometers in diameter. Now, it's impossible to remember, though. Yeah, they're small, but how much mass is in this little guy? A lot, all right? If you crammed our sun down to its Schwarzschild radius, it would turn into a black hole. You can create a black hole if you want to. You just need to crush, say, the Earth down to the size of a peanut. So you could have a peanut black hole, and it would have the mass of the Earth. You could have a town-sized black hole, say 19 kilometers, and it would have the same mass as the sun. But there's kind of a limit currently, experimentally, where we haven't found black holes below. And we don't know if they exist, but they might. You could theoretically have smaller black holes. You could think of primordial black holes. You could think of microscopic black holes. Primordial black holes being created in the early stages of the universe. We don't know if these things exist. They could. They would probably not last for very long if they were microscopic. Primordial black holes, they should probably still be around. There could be one floating around our solar system at Planet 9. You might have seen the hypotheses for it being a small little primordial black hole. There's so much beautiful possibilities in this universe, and I think they probably exist, and I think they're probably everywhere. What else we got? Switzerland, Grand Canyon. Well, I mean, that's where the LHC is. They should have put that in here. Okay, it's the video. It's not my computer lagging. Europa, my favorite moon in the whole universe. That's where we're going to find alien life, my friends, under the crust of Europa. It's got a subsurface ocean. We are quite confident because it looks like there's an icy crust on there and it cracks like tectonic plates, and then it shoots out plumes into the atmosphere. And Europa Clipper, NASA's Europa Clipper is going to go there very soon. It's going to sample those plumes, going to fly around Europa. It's going to sample those water plumes being blown up. Then we're going to send a little device which is going to land on Europa. It's going to drill down through that crust, that icy crust, and it's going to see what's down there. And I suspect there's going to be some magic down there. Can't wait. I hope I live to see that day. If I don't, come back to this YouTube video and tell me what's there. And, you know, Venus, Neptune. Neptune might be my favorite planet as well. It's so mysterious. And I love mystery. What else have we got? All right, come on, video. Barnard Star. All right, there's a lot now between here and the larger stuff, which is going to be a lot of the same. Very cool stuff. But we'll choose our battles. Smaller supermassive black hole. Also, I've said this in the other black hole videos of Kurzgesagt, they really shouldn't be changing the colors like they do, because that would not be the case, yo. And it's a little bit misleading. You know, people think, smaller supermassive black hole is this color. No. Gakbox. The nib. Where's Steve? We got the pistol. It's coming. There's Steve. The largest known star in the universe, which will probably be, I think, with the new JWST, telescope, I'm sure it's going to probably see some larger stars. I suspect there were some just mega giants in the very early universe. I'm hoping we see a quasi-star, where there's literally a black hole in them, and these things are just behemoths. The Kuiper, there's just so much wonderful stuff to talk about here. My favorite space probe, Voyager 1, just floating out there like a little tugboat. Biggest black hole. 390 billion kilometers. So that will be ton 618, of course. What is it? How many billion times the mass of the sun? 40 billion times the mass of the sun? Is it, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. Gomez's hamburger. There's something we haven't talked about. Now, if you're wondering what Gomez's hamburger is, no, it is not a double hamburger with cheese. It's just a sun-like star that's near the end of its life. We thought it was a nebula at first, I believe. Kind of looks like two eyeballs looking at each other here. Smallest known nebula. Cat's Eye Nebula. Clown-Face Nebula. Hourglass. Oh, man. Oh, Light Year. Nice. Ant Nebula. Parsec. The incorrect way they use that in Star Wars. Parsec is a distance measure. Distant sun, closest star. Orion, Great Metallica Song. North America, Rosetta, Lagoon, Omega, Messiah. Great Nebula in Carina. This is beautiful, man. Tarantia Nebula. Yep, Sagittarius Dwarf. This is so cool. Small Magellanic Cloud. That is the nearest galaxy to our own. You got the small and the large Magellanic Cloud, which down here in the southern hemisphere, my friends, in the great southern land down under. If you look up, you have to use your peripheral vision. You can't stare directly at it. In the darkest places, you can kind of just see it. It looks like a faint cloud. But if you use your peripheral vision, which is actually better for detecting low light stuff, you can see this, and it's like a cloud in the sky, but you're looking at these are small galaxies, right? The largest big galaxy is Andromeda. Where between the galaxies are just voids. Most people don't even know this. Galaxies are like oceans. Islands in an ocean. And Andromeda, which is 2.5 million light years away, it would take light 2.5 million years, which is the cosmic speed limit. Isn't that depressing? Don't worry, guys. I'm sure we're going to find some ways around it one day. And, we once thought Andromeda was like, quite a lot bigger than the Milky Way. But we actually have recently realized it's about the same size. Distance to the next galaxy. Yeah, 2.5 million. That's the next big galaxy. The Magellanic Clouds of galaxies. So that's kind of incorrect. Local group. Well, it is incorrect. This video is doing wonders for my passion and curiosity. It's really making me feel good. Also, something else they haven't included in this video in the size comparison, I haven't seen any of the size comparisons, which I don't understand, is dark matter halos. Where are my dark matter halos? They're important, okay? All the baryonic matter, all the matter you know about, can see. All of that stuff just follows the dark matter. All the dark matter halos. That's the important. That's not important, but it's the baryonic matter. The galaxies you'll find at the centers of these dark matter halos, and we can see it. We know it's there. We can see its influence through gravity. Okay? And galaxies don't work without. They don't hold together. They just fly apart. They don't even make sense without dark matter. All right? So dark matter. Whether it's matter or not, we don't know. But hey, look, we could be entirely wrong about this dark matter stuff. That's possible. I just want to say it should be here, and I don't see it. Give it enough credit, and I just want to see it get its credit. All right. Thank you, Kurzgesagt. The great nothing. Physicist. Sloan Great Wall. That's a very interesting thing. Gigaparsec. Largest known quasar group. They're really including a lot. Distance to the Hubble Deep Field. 13 billion years. Yeah, the Hubble Deep Field is just one of the most majestic things. You know, the JWST Deep Field, I think, in my opinion, is the most beautiful picture our species has ever laid its eyes upon. It's just incredible. And, you know, I remember the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. If it was something like, you know, if you hold a little coin at like arm's length, you know, that represents the entire bit of the sky you're seeing in the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. Isn't that just crazy? Like, that's, you look at the Hubble Ultra Deep Field, and there's like 10,000 galaxies in there, and they actually try to choose a particular dark region in the sky which looked like it had nothing, and it represents a little coin in the sky's worth of sky, and they just opened up Hubble, left it open for a little while to take in all that light, and it saw all of these galaxies which we just could not see. It's just, the universe is remarkable, my friends. And if you're not feeling good, you ever feeling down, just go look up and go watch a video about what's out there. It's just, you know, mystery, as Einstein said, is one of the most beautiful things we can experience. And when I'm particularly down, which is all the fucking time, I enjoy experiencing beautiful things. And what's more beautiful than, you know, whatever this place is, whatever it is, we are part of it, right? We are made of the same stuff as this place. So, you know, we look out at this place. In essence, we're really looking at ourselves. You want to understand yourself better? Look up. I have so much appreciation for people who make videos like this, because this gives me that feeling I was just describing to you people, and more than that, it inspires the kids out there to, it makes them realize, you know, just makes them realize. Nothing more needs to be said. It makes them realize how great learning is and how beautiful looking into things is, and school really does the opposite. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed watching that. Thank you, Kurzgesagt. Please come check out armyinterior.com. Make sure you subscribe, you smart primate, and I'll see you next time.